Hi there. I've noticed in the last couple of weeks I've had quite a few more subscribers to my videos, so I've decided to make another video for you. Thanks very much for subscribing, I hope they're helpful. I'm going to show you a method of making a template. I'm using the example of making a window seat for a bay window, which obviously is never going to be a uniform shape, so it's useful to be able to make a comprehensive template. So I'll turn the camera around and show you what we're doing. So this is my mock-up of a bay window. As you can see, there's a bit of boxing in here which you're going to want to get around with the seat. You know, none of these angles are the same. Those two are different and those two are different. Here's what we need: a glue gun, a reasonably solid piece of timber that isn't going to bend or warp, and then a bunch of small skinny bits of any old scrap with points cut on them. And then I've got a few skinny strips here which might come in useful, and I'll show you why. So the first thing to do is to fix this piece in a position, a known position, and the point is that you have to fix it relative to a known place on your finished seat. So if we say that what you're making is the top of the seat here, obviously you're not going to be down at ground level doing it. You're going to want to be 400, 500 millimeters above the ground. And so just get some toolboxes or something to stand here that this can sit on top of. But just the important thing is that it doesn't move at all. So in terms of a fixed position, what we can assume for a window seat is that you might say, well, let's make sure that this is in a fixed position 30 millimeters back from the finished front of the seat. So then you can probably assume that the front of the seat will extend 30 millimeters in front of this straight line between the two sides of the bay here. So all we're going to do is we're going to put that against the straight edge and just stick it down there. Now it doesn't have to be relative to the front of the seat. It can be relative to absolutely anything you like, as long as you know what it is relative to. Because then when it comes to actually marking from the template onto the workpiece, if you know that this is going to be set back 30mm from the front of the workpiece, it's really easy to get it in the right place. So we've stuck that down on our toolboxes, as it were, so we've come up to about the height of the seat, because obviously, you know, this shape is not going to be identical here to 500, 600mm up. So then all we do is we get the glue gun and one of these pointy sticks, blob of glue on there, put the pointy stick into the corner there. And it's the same for an internal corner as for an external. I'm calling them corners, although they're not really. But it's the same for an internal angle as an external. And you just keep doing this for everything that isn't a straight line. Now, obviously these are reasonably straight because they're just bits of MDF, but if the wall here was bowed, you could put as many sticks along there as you felt was necessary. I'm just trying to find some now. So you could do this. You could stick another one there if that wall was bowed and you wanted to avoid having to put the workpiece in to scribe it. You don't have to attach them to here either. Once they're in, you can attach them to each other. As long as you've got a point where you want it to be, you can attach it to absolutely anything because the whole thing's fixed. If you wanted, for example, to measure up to something out here, so say you had something sticking out there and you wanted your seat to come into this corner here, obviously you can't, you're not going to be able to reach into that corner by attaching to this, but you can just attach an extension on there. and then you can get right into that corner. And it doesn't matter how unwieldy the whole thing looks, it will be absolutely correct as long as this piece isn't moving. So then, when you've put on all the bits that you need to, you just take this bit, lay this on top of your workpiece, and then mark all the points. Obviously there's an advantage to this piece being as thin as possible because it puts the points closer to the workpiece when you lay it down on top of them, and also I would clean all the glue off the bottom so you get it as flat down as possible. So you mark all the points nice and carefully, and then you just do dot to dot. You join up the points and then you get a perfect replica of this shape. And that's it, it's as simple as that. And like I said, I've used it for, I don't know if I did say, but I've used it for kitchen worktops. If I'm fitting 40mm oak worktops and I'm on my own, you don't want to have to keep lifting them in and out to scribe them. So this is a way that you can do it. You can leave the worktop where it is, make a template like this, cut the worktop, and then when you put it in, you know it'll fit perfectly first time. So that's how we do that. I believe it's an old boat builder's trick. I think they use it for fitting stuff into the hull, which is obviously a quite random shape. Yeah, go nuts with that. I hope that's helpful. Cheers, bye-bye.